Hey, seventh grade. So our learning target for today is I can determine if a given value is a solution to an equation. So is the value a solution, which just basically means is the answer correct? You should be on page 8. So one of our Minnesota State learning targets is to say whether you can determine whether your answer is correct. So we're going to talk about how to do that. So we're going to be working with equations today. You should have seen equations before in math. You should think of equation as equals. There's an equal sign in an equation. So it's a mathematical expression where mathematical statement where two expressions are equal, which means they have the same value. So you should go ahead and fill those in. A mathematical statement where two expressions are equal. They have the same value. Now just keep in mind that equations have to have equal signs and both sides must have the same value. So you have to have an equal sign, and we're saying that the left side equals the right side. Even if there's variables in there, that's what we're saying in an equation. So an example of an equation would be just something like 2 plus 3 equals 5. So if we take a look at the left side, is it true that at the left side 2 plus 3 is equal to the right side 5? Yes, that's an equation. So what's something that's not an equation? Well, we could say 2 plus 3 equals 6. Is that true? Is it true that the left side, 2 plus 3, equals the right side 6? No, that's not true. So that's not an equation. That's not equal. So that's examples of an example of an equation and a non-example of an equation. Okay, so for our work today, we're going to ask if your answer is correct. We'll see some variables in there. We'll do some substitution, but we're going to check what's called the solution. Now, you maybe want to just cross that word off in your brain and think, answer. Is the answer or the solution correct? So we're going to look at the solution. We're going to do some substitution and see. So a solution to an equation is the value that makes it true. It makes it true. So sometimes when we're solving, we make errors. We get an answer, we think, well, it's the answer I got. It's what my calculator said, so it must be correct. But we always have to make sure it's correct by checking the solution or the answer. So for example, here's an equation, x plus 4 equals 9. We're going to say that the solution or the answer is 5. Because if we take the 5 and plug it back in, 5 plus 4 equals 9. Let's go ahead and look to see if that's true. Is it true that the left side of the equal sign is equal to the right side of the equal sign? Is it true that 5 plus 4 is the same as 9? Yes, that's true. So we have it. That's a solution. So all of our work today is just checking to see, is the answer that's listed correct? So we're just going to plug in. Yes, you can use your calculator. I prefer that you do as much as you can without the calculator, but you're welcome to use your calculator. So the first one says that j is equal to 6. So I'm going to go ahead and rewrite this equation with the j out and the 6 in. So it's like substitution in a basketball game. J is coming out of the game, 6 is going in the game. So the equation that we have is this. And I'm going to use substitution. I'm going to put a 6 in the j spot. So I'm going to replace that with a 6. Then I'm going to ask myself, is it true that 15 minus 6, is that the same as 21? Is it true that 15 minus 6 equals 21? You should be saying no. That's not true. So 6 is not the solution to that equation. So no. Now if that was too fast, you should pause the video and watch it again. But we're just substituting the 6 in the j spot and just checking to see if the left side of the equation is equal to the right side of the equation. All right, this next one, the substitution is C's coming out of the game and 12's going in. So we have 100 minus 2. This is times C equals 86. So I'm going to take the C out and I'm going to put the 12 in. And I'm just checking to see, is it true that the left side of the equation is equal to the right side of the equation? Is it true that 100 minus 2 times 12 equals 86? Well, I know that 2 times 12 is 24. So is it true that 100 minus 24 equals 86? Is that true? No. It actually equals 76. So we're going to say that is not true. So 12 is not the solution to that equation. That is not the correct answer. All right, so we're just saying yes or no today. You should show a little bit of work of your substitution, but that's what we're looking for. In this problem here, we want to know, is it true that the left side equals the right side? The problem I have right now is that I have variables on both sides. So I'm going to substitute in twice. I'm going to take this -5. I'm going to put it in one time on the left and one time on the right. So I'm going to rewrite the equation with the -5 going in for x. So x is coming out of the game. -5 is going in. And then on the right-hand side, I'm going to take the x out. I'm going to put the -5 in. And if you need your calculator to help you with this, that's fine. So on the left-hand side of the equation, is it true that we have 3 times -5 plus -4? Is that equal to -2 times -5 minus 5? Is that true? Well, if I use my mental math here, if you use a calculator, that's fine. We have this triangle problem of -15 plus -4. The question is, does that equal? There's a triangle problem here, 10 minus 5. Is that true? Does -15 plus -4 equal 10 minus 5? On the left-hand side, we have -19. Does that equal 5? No. So we would say that -5 is not the solution. Now notice, if the variable shows up twice, we have to substitute in twice. Okay, so we have another problem here on the bottom. We're going to check to see, does x equal 1? Now we have to check the left side of the equation and see, does it equal the right side of the equation? Is that true? So I'm going to draw a vertical line here, and I'm going to substitute in everywhere I see an x. So I'm going to rewrite this with the x coming out of the game, the +1 going in the game. So we have 2 times 1 minus 5 times 1 plus 4 on the left. I put the 1 in 2 spots on the left-hand side, both of the spots where I see the variable x. On the right-hand side, I have 4 minus 3 times 1. And I do the same thing on the right-hand side. You can use your calculator at this point if you need some help. Otherwise, we're going to simplify. That becomes 2 minus 5 plus 4 on the left, and that becomes 4 minus 3 on the right. Now, without a calculator, I'm going to stop, chop, chop, and say, well, that's -3 plus 4 on the left, and that's a 1 on the right. Is it true that -3 plus 4 equals 1? Is that true? Well, -3 plus 4 is equal to 1. Is that true? Yes. So we would say yes. 1 is the solution. Notice that we substitute 1 in 3 times. We substitute it everywhere we see the variable x. So x comes out of the game, 1 goes in the game. So that's called determine whether it's a solution. You're just checking to see, is it the correct answer? So when we take the variable out and when we put what we think the answer is in, are we getting the correct information? Is it working out? So for our summary today, a solution is just the answer, and you're just checking to see if the answer is true. So if you take the variable out, put the number in, is it true? Does the left side equal the right side? So your homework for tonight is to do page 9 and page 10. Page 9 is just checking for solutions, and page 10 is remembering old integer kind of questions. One thing you need to know that is on page 9, the first 8 questions you will not be able to do unless I'm here today. If you have a sub today or you're just doing this on your own, the first 8 are classwork boxes, so you'll have to leave those 8 empty boxes alone until I get back to work. So again, your homework is to do page 9 and page 10, although you will not be able to do the first 8 questions unless I'm here today. Have a fabulous night, 7th grade.